Well, my focus on chronic constipation is based on the fact that 15% of the population in the United States suffer from chronic constipation. The definition of chronic constipation is less than 3 complete spontaneous bowel movements a week. If you have 3, you're kind of in the normal range. Under that, you're defined as constipation. Since 15% of the population have it, we're talking about 50 million people. And it really, the diversity is huge among these patients regarding the meds they take, regarding any other treatments they take. And significant percentage of them, at the end of the day, still feel dissatisfied from the current treatment armamentarium they have at this point. That's where this capsule came in, which is an innovative method. And the company is a young company that approached us, among other centers that deal with constipation in the United States, and offered us to participate in a study where we give this capsule to patients with chronic constipation, and we see whether we can improve their spontaneous bowel movement weekly episodes. Well, the main difference in this treatment is that this is a non-chemical, non-pharmaceutical, non-pharma, or any other ingredient or any other thing that affects the motility. There is non-secretory, it's non-secreting, meaning it's a capsule that you swallow and it just vibrates. There are no chemicals there, there are no drug interactions, there's nothing. There's no treatment besides the vibrating treatment itself. And that's kind of unique. This is a quarter and this is the capsule. So you can see exactly the size, which is kind of like a quarter. And what people do is swallow this capsule. And after you swallow this capsule, there's a program there that initiates vibrations 8 hours after swallowing the pill. So patients swallow the pill, it goes through their esophagus, their stomach, their small bowel, and probably around 8 hours, according to normal motility, it reaches the colon, the right colon, and there it vibrates. It has 240 vibrating episodes of something like 3 in a minute. Every vibrating episode is 1 or 2 seconds, which it vibrates. And so it's good for something like 8 hours. We know that vibrations in the right colon, which has a lot of the motor particles or the motor receptors in the colon, it initiates colon motility, which could initiate potentially a bowel movement. Well, the screening process involves 2 weeks of a diary. That in this diary we actually explore and see what is the baseline of the patients that we include in our studies, how many spontaneous bowel movements they have a week, to see whether they qualify to participate in the study. It is for ages 18 till 75 or 80. The inclusion criteria is a chronic constipation, and the exclusion criteria is, at this point, we cannot enroll, because of the FDA, we cannot enroll pregnant women, since we don't know what vibrations could do to the fetus. We do not want to enroll patients that take opioids or take narcotics or anything that we know that inhibits bowel movements, inhibits colon motility. And besides that, most of the inclusion criteria, it is quite open to almost everybody who does not have these 2 major contraindications. Well, the pill is programmed to start working at 8 hours. It could be, again, like we said, it could be programmed to start whenever we want to, according to just simple programming of the pill itself. The FDA, at this point, approved the study for colon motility, hence starting at 8 hours. So this is what we have now. Again, it's only a technical matter to program it to start vibrating whenever we want. And we hope in the near future to do some more studies in other organs in the GI tract, not just the colon, and see whether it could be also helpful there. The patients that come and participate in the study are usually patients, all of them, that have been in the area for a long time, let's put it this way, and have been suffering from chronic constipation, so they've tried almost everything on earth prior to coming to do this study. You don't really want to attract people that just have chronic constipation, that just started within the last 6 months, and have not really explored most of the natural treatments or the mild treatments out there. So patients that enroll in our study, or patients that call us and want to participate in the study, are patients who know exactly what chronic constipation is, have been out there and have tried almost all the other treatments with partial response or even less than that. So for them it is intriguing. It is probably at this point one kind of their last hope. So they come very, on one hand they're optimistic because they really think that it is a novel idea that maybe could help them. On the other hand, they're quite skeptic because they've been there, done that, and they've been probably in other trials of certain pharma drugs or other compounds with probably not that great results, since they do come to our study. This capsule can be programmed to start vibrating from the moment you swallow it. It's programmed now for 8 hours, but it can be programmed for 1 hour, 2 hours, 19 hours, whenever we want to do that, or the company programs it to do. At this point, we're exploring chronic constipation and its effect on the colon motility. We have some other ideas and other things in the pipeline for this, for other motility disorders, not specifically related to the colon. I think that this capsule could probably be effective or helpful in other motility disorders. But again, we need to explore this, so this is just a hypothesis at this point.